There is this quote that haunts me at least multiple times per day, and I would say it's the very reason I got into this self-improvement journey of mine, and it's one of the main reasons I even made this channel. It's my obsession with the idea of I can become infinitely better. Ever since I've heard this for the first time in my life, and I've just been obsessed with this entire journey of constant improvement. And I think it's a beautiful quote. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable of. And I would say this should haunt you because you're a man and you live once. And honestly, this is not just for men. You're a woman, you only live once. Why not put your body to the absolute limits that it's capable of? Why not fully understand what your mental and your body and your muscles and everything, why not go to the limits and break those limits and create new limits and then break it again? What is life worth if not to go to the extremes? And I think the main hormone and the main component of the male body that really puts all the engines together and really overpowers us and basically 10x is everything is testosterone. Obviously, there's many more that come into play. But when we talk about the difference between men and women, the first thing that comes to mind is testosterone versus estrogen. And we can see this everywhere. Now, the question is, do you want to kill or do you want to get killed? And this might sound extreme, but if you really think about it, low testosterone and high testosterone is the difference between the one who hunts and the one who's the victim. As a man, are you the one who hunts or are you the victim? Do you want to have the mental strength and the physical capabilities to take someone's life? Or do you want to just be the victim who runs away in fear? And this is a question I think everybody has to be asking themselves. What are you worth as a man if not for defending yourself and fighting? And we can see this. We can see low testosterone just by looking at someone. And also this is very common within animals. For example, the gray wolf, one of the most dangerous hunters amongst the animals, has between 300 to 800 ng testosterone. And a rabbit only has between 100 and 300. Now, obviously, this is very subjective throughout animals. For example, a deer could have up to 5,000 ng testosterone levels in mating seasons. But outside of that, it's way less than a lion's. Are you afraid of getting killed, or are you the one who hunts? And the reason this is very visible within a man's face is because you can easily tell by a man's face the way their hair is grown, the way their bones are proportioned, that if they're hunters or not. For example, with these two comparisons here, you can see easily what a low testosterone face looks like and a high testosterone face looks like. And now we have a clavicular down here, but you might say, oh, he did all this bone smashing stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He still has high testosterone because he quite literally injected, right? And it contributes to a well-shaped face. The bones, your skin, your health, your feelings. And let me make you understand something. The way you feel about yourself and your mind, your confidence, they indirectly affect your testosterone levels. It's true. If you feel good, you have high testosterone. If you feel bad, you have low testosterone. It is that simple. And I think you need to sort the basics if you want above average testosterone levels. If you don't do the basics, then, and it's crazy to me how 99.99% of the human population just don't care about the basics. Number one, sleep. And this is where true recovery happens. This is where you create most of that testosterone and you fix your hormones. And there are certain things that are misunderstood about sleep, which I'll get to as we go through the list. First of all, is consistent sleep and wake time. So you want to make this as consistent as possible because when you reach that certain time, it signals to your brain that it's sleeping time. So you automatically produce more melatonin, which helps you sleep. And the same thing with your wake up time, your body automatically wakes you up and you just have a better experience with sleep. When it's consistent, when you get to around those times, your body and your mind signals saying, okay, we need to sleep. Purely because you've been repeating this sleeping pattern and waking pattern for multiple days or for a long time. So your body just adapts and makes it way easier to fall asleep. When you wake up, you need sunlight instantly, and I don't care what anybody says about sunlight. Sunlight is essential to your health. And this is actually how I fixed my sleeping schedule, by the way, was that I would wake up and the first thing I would do, let me tell you something, I struggled with sleep for so damn long. Like I would sleep at like 1, 2, 3 a.m. And whenever I would wake up, even if I were to set an alarm, I would fall asleep again. And even then, when I would try to get out of bed, it would take me an hour to get out of bed. And how I fixed this was I just stopped setting an alarm. Every time I would wake up, I wouldn't even shower. I wouldn't do anything, ain't nothing. I would put on a shirt, go outside for a walk. And there's this place next to my house where I can just get espresso. It's not a coffee shop. They sell cigarettes and stuff, but they also sell an espresso. So I would just wake up instantly, go there, get espresso. I'm getting sunlight on my face, come home, put the espresso on my desk, cold shower, meditate, work. I have my espresso with me, I have my cigarettes with me, I have my nicotine with me. I'm ready for that deep work state. And as well as that, all the melatonin is gone out of my body. Essentially, it's the best way to wake yourself up. And it's funny, I repeated this for a few days. I realized, wait, I'm sleeping way better. It's way easier for me to wake up now. It's so much easier for me to wake up now. I have more energy. I'm in a better state required for deep work. I feel better about myself. And over time, my sleep got fixed. And I remember this very clear example. Me and my friends in the morning were going to this specific event in our city, and it started at 10 a.m. So 10 in the morning or 10 p.m. I'm not sure where you go, but whatever. So I woke up at 7, full of energy because I slept so good. I went out, got my espresso, went to the gym. I'm there at 10 a.m. I feel good because I've been working on my sleep for the past while. And all my friends pulled up and they're all, sleepy. They're all complaining about the fact that they either didn't sleep or they only slept for like 4 hours. And I'm just there, bloated. I feel great. So I would say sunlight instantly is the main component of fixing your sleep. Number 3, cool bedroom to sleep. I've noticed this among people and as well as myself. When I'm trying to sleep, if it's a little bit cold, I actually fall asleep way more easily. But if it's warmer, it takes longer for me to fall asleep. And there are researches and studies on this that cooler temperatures help with sleep more. Funnily enough, when you wake up, warmer temperatures help you wake up faster. So it's quite the opposite. So what I do is, before I go to the bed, I'll leave my AC on for 50 minutes. I'll leave some doors, for example, my room's door open. It gets a little cold. And then the moment I'm about to go to bed to sleep, I turn the AC off. It's still cool. The temperature is still cool. It's going to take 5, 10, 15 minutes for it to get warmer. So I'm going to be asleep by the time it's warm. And then when I wake up, the AC is off, so I can get out of bed easily. Dark room and silence. Now, silence is subjective to you. Some people sleep better with some noise, but I would say having a dark room is mandatory. It is mandatory. And if you go back in time, if you go back millions of years, there was no clock and there were no watches, right, to tell the time. How humans woke up and slept was using sunlight and moonlight. So when the sun would go down, it would become dark. It would signal to our brain, okay, it's sleeping time. But if there's light, we just can't sleep. It blocks melatonin generation. No nicotine 4 hours before bed. This is not talked about in many videos, but if you're a smoker like me, or if you've used nicotine like me, nicotine is a stimulant. It fucks up sleep. Essentially, it helps with waking up. So a lot of times when I'm struggling to wake up, right? A lot of times when I'm in bed and I'm just really tired, I got shitty sleep, I'll have a pack of cigarettes next to me and I'll just smoke one, and I'm instantly wide awake. Instantly wide awake after smoking it. I don't think you want that before bed, so no nicotine 4 hours before bed. And there are research on this that talk about the fact that most nicotine leaves your blood system in around 4 hours. Now, obviously, some do stay in your system. It transforms into co-nicotine. I'm not sure about this, but the majority of it leaves within 2 to 4 hours. So better if you just don't smoke or don't have any nicotine in your system before 4 hours of bed. No caffeine before 8 hours. And let me tell you something, guys. I abuse caffeine to its limits. I love caffeine. As we are speaking, I have coffee next to me. And in the morning when I woke up, I had two espresso shots. So that's a lot of caffeine by itself. But 8 hours before bed, I do not have any caffeine. I don't care what anybody says. No caffeine whatsoever. Some people say, I sleep good even though I have caffeine. Yeah, you still fall asleep because your body is used to it. But it ruins your deep sleep state. So if you want to improve the quality of your sleep, no caffeine 8 hours before bed. Journal before bed. And I would say, many people talk about the fact that you can just read books or whatever. Sure, you could read books. But here's the thing with journaling. Journaling empties your mind. Journaling is a form of meditation because if you are someone who is, for example, working on themselves and building a business and grinding, you're going to have a lot of stress. Now, that's completely normal. I also feel that stress sometimes. Journaling essentially takes that stress onto paper. Everything within your mind, you take it to paper. And what I like to do is I would spend an hour journaling, just literally, and a friend of mine told me this for journaling, vomit your words. If you don't know what to write, but you know what's in your head, just start writing and keep on going. Keep on going until you don't know what to write. Just you don't know what to write. And then burn the paper. It sounds cringe, but it works. You're essentially emptying your mind onto paper and then letting go of it. This is way better than reading books, in my opinion. And please, for the love of God, use blue light blockers. If you're on laptop or you're on your computer, even on your phone, there is this night mode or night light option, which essentially turns your screen red or yellow. And what this does is it relaxes your eyes so much, so much for sleep. Mine, I have it set automatically, so that's at 8 p.m. around 4 hours, 5 hours before bed. It turns it to that color, and it basically turns it on automatically. And I can just feel it in my eyes that I feel way more relaxed. And also a myth about sleeping. Oversleeping is non-existent. Sleep as much as needed. I don't care what anybody says. Oversleeping is a lie. It is a lie. Sleep as much as you need. Now, stress reduction. Stress is a killer. Stress equals high cortisol, which equals heightened fear, which equals fight or flight mode. Essentially, when you're stressed, your body goes into this defense mode where it tries to preserve everything that it has already because it is scared, it is fearing death or danger. That's essentially what's going on with stress. And essentially turns you into a victim. It turns you into a pet. So in movies where when a serial killer is trying to chase someone and they're feared, blah blah blah, you are going to be in that state without even knowing you're in that state. Do whatever you need to do to lower your stress. Cortisol quite literally turns you into a pet. It turns you into a victim. And I would say one of the best ways to reduce stress is meditation. It should be mandatory for any man out there. And essentially what stress does is it also helps with compulsive behavior. So for instance, if you're a pornography addict and you get urges to watch porn and you just compulsively open up any website and you start watching porn. What meditation does is you realize that you are getting the urge to watch porn. Without meditation, without that mastery of your mind, you're not going to realize that you have this urge to watch porn. But when you do meditate and you work on your mind, you realize, oh wait, I have the urge to watch porn. Oh wait, I'm stressed. I know I'm stressed. See what I mean? So whether that's meditation, journaling, whatever it is to control stress, breath work, walking, do it. You have to kill your stress. Nutritional fixes. And I've made it somewhat simple. Okay, and if we're going to talk nutrition for testosterone, I could make a whole other video on it. But I'm trying to make it as simple as possible in this video. Just fix the basics of your diet, right? Don't eat processed food. Eat whole foods. So for example, if you want to eat, I don't know, something from McDonald's, you want to eat, for example, fried chicken. You don't know what's in that. You don't know what they're using. They're using this kind of oil and they're adding these ingredients, blah, blah, blah. Why not just make it at home, right? Just get chicken and make it yourself. Whole foods only. An entire potato is a whole food. Eggs are whole foods. Some bread are whole foods. Rice, for example, maybe. Whatever is considered healthy, eat that. Don't eat processed shit. Don't get ready to just, you know how some people spam noodles? Don't do it. You don't know what's in it. Eat whole foods only. Number 2, no seed oils. I don't care what anybody says. No seed oils whatsoever. Number 3, eggs. And the reason I put eggs here and not stuff such as red meat or fish is because, listen, not all of us have the money to get that. So many people don't have the money to eat meat or fish every day or every week even. Some people can't afford it a whole year round. Some people live in a third world country. So not everybody can afford it. But eggs are available. Spam eggs. Before I got profitable from trading, and maybe you guys are subscribers to this channel of mine, you don't know this, but I'm a day trader. And before I started to make money, meat and fish were just a dream to me, right? So I can completely understand it. And what I did was I would just spam eggs, quite literally spam 10 eggs a day. They are a superfood. You can literally just eat them raw, so just milk and raw eggs, or just fry them or boil them, doesn't matter. Eat eggs. No vegetables. I don't care what anybody says. I haven't had vegetables in a long time. And all I've been doing is gaining muscle and I'm bloated and I feel great. You don't eat vegetables. That's vegan food. You're not a vegan. You should not be a vegan. And cholesterol. Have a lot of it. Have a lot of cholesterol. And there was a study on children from Alaska and their diet consisted of high cholesterol food. They would never cry. A child cries when it is lacking nutrients. High cholesterol is the closest to a mother's milk. And I read this in a study. I should pull up studies from now in each video, and I'll make sure I do that. But essentially, cholesterol is literally what creates testosterone. You need as much cholesterol as possible. If your doctor looks at you and says, your cholesterol is high, they're pretty much turning you into a soy boy. And you don't want soy as well, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people say, oh, well, soy has a lot of protein, blah, blah. No. Sure, it might have protein. No, don't do it. It's a plant. It's a vegetable. It's a plant. Don't have soy. Sun maxing. Every morning, 30 minutes or an hour of direct sunlight. It's better if you're able to do it. You should be fully naked. And look, some people, especially ChatGPT, by the way, I use that to script my videos. They're against sunning your balls. What's funny is there is a 1930 study on this. I saw this in a video by someone, and he pulled up this 1930 study. And having sunlight hit certain parts of your body helps with the absorption of it more than it would on other body parts, right? And your chest and back have good absorption, but your testicles have the highest absorption of vitamin D and sunlight. It is that simple. It is that simple. Sun your balls for at least 30 minutes a day. Sun your entire body. Sunlight is quite literally needed for you. And all these fucking soul boys who are scared of sunlight. Oh, we're just skin aging, blah, bro. We've been having sunlight for millions of years, and you're telling me the main source of light on this planet is dangerous for me? The main source of heat is dangerous for me? I am not listening to you. It is that simple. I am not listening to you. Done. It's done. I am not listening to you guys. Sunlight is mandatory. 5, sauna. And this one has a indirect effect on testosterone. There's not much testosterone release recorded with sauna. But sauna indirectly affects testosterone. Why? The highest growth hormone spike ever recorded in a human was 20 minutes of sauna, 5 minutes of rest, again, 20 minutes of sauna, 5 minutes of rest, and again, 20 minutes of sauna. When you have that much growth hormone in your system and every single body part of you is being fixed, is being improved, you're growing, it is going to indirectly give you better testosterone levels. When you're growing, you need testosterone. Done. It is as simple. Some things don't just help with testosterone levels directly. Some things help with it indirectly. They release everything that is correlated to having high testosterone. So people who use growth hormone to grow taller, blah, 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 they're basically seeing the same results as having high testosterone. So it helps indirectly. It also helps with recovery, relaxation, stress, cardiovascular health, and growth hormone release, which we talked about, which is muscle health and growth. So try to do this at least once a week. If you don't, you can just go to a public pool. They have sauna. You can just use it. So do this as much as possible. Sprinting also helps with a lot of growth hormone release. There's this sprint workout, which I found online. It's called the Sprint 8 workout. 30 seconds of maximum effort sprinting and then 90 seconds of rest. And repeat this for 8. This does way more than you think to your body. Way more. Growth hormone, adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine sensitivity and receptivity, insulin sensitivity, breath work, and breath work is correlated to cortisol and stress reduction. And also, when it comes to looks and looking good, this has a massive help to that. And the reason it does that is because it works on your back muscles and neck muscles. So it helps you straighten your neck and the back muscles. And this is proven. It helps with a better jawline. It helps with everything. You need to be sprinting. I don't care what you do. You need to be doing this. It has an indirect result, an indirect correlation to high testosterone. It helps with everything related to testosterone. You need to do this. There are many researchers on this. If you go and research sprinting, it is inhuman how much this helps the human. Resistance training. Again, indirect, but if you aren't hitting the gym and you aren't lifting heavy stuff, what are you doing? Ignore everything that we talked about. If you aren't lifting weights, this is not going to work. If you aren't doing some form of competitive sports or anything related to weights, this is not going to work. Let's keep it simple. Do heavy stuff and do resistance training. So instead of doing isolated exercises, right? For example, doing leg curls or leg extensions, do squats. Because squats affect your entire leg. Most of the muscles in your leg, they affect it. But leg curls only isolate one muscle. So focus on compound exercises. Heavy load equals mechanical tension equals large muscle recruitment equals high energy demand. So you're going to see a good short-term testosterone spike in that, as well as adrenaline and noradrenaline release, and also growth hormone release, which helps with tissue repair, fat metabolism, recovery, and collagen release. And also you're going to release IGF-1, which is protein synthesis, tissue repair, and bone remodeling. And yes, when people say the gym or deadlifts or compound exercises stunt your height growth, they're fucking retards. They're lying to you. If anything, doing those habits helps with growth, with bone growth, especially if you're someone in puberty. And I wish I lifted weights in puberty. I'm pretty tall. I'm around 185 to 187 centimeters. But if I were lifting heavy weights when I was in puberty, I would be over 195 easily. Easily, bro. You need to be lifting weights. And also, lifting weights helps with less body fat. And the reason less body fat is really important for testosterone levels is because fat tissue has this enzyme and it's called aromatase, or I'm not sure how you pronounce this. It sounds funny. Aromatase, I don't know how you pronounce it, but essentially the job with this fat enzyme is that it converts testosterone to estrogen. Estrogen is directly correlated to more fat. It makes you more feminine, right? If you look at feminine men, they have higher fat levels. They have higher body fat levels. And that's directly from fat tissue and the enzyme which converts testosterone to estrogen. So when you lose that body fat, you're losing that enzyme and you're going to turn your estrogen into testosterone. Better insulin sensitivity. So having a poor diet, and look, if you're going to lift weights, you're automatically going to better your diet. So having a poor diet equals weight gain, which equals insulin resistance, which equals to a metabolic dysfunction. And also, people who lift weights are going to have better sleep because your body is going to crave that sleep. It's going to crave that sleep to help build more muscle. It's that simple. It's going to help with stress as well. It's going to help with stress because you have higher confidence in yourself. So you're moving up that ladder of looks and health, right? So every time you hit the gym and you come outside, you're bettering your health, you're bettering your body, you're bettering your looks, you're bettering your confidence. You're bettering every fucking thing about you. So lower stress, better dopamine system. You're doing hard activity for an hour or two. You're instead of wasting that 2 hours on video games and whatever bullshit, you're going to the gym. So it's going to help with your dopamine system. And also, as I talked about, higher confidence. How you feel influences your health. Never forget that. And also cold showers in the morning. The reason cold showers in the morning helps a lot, and it helps indirectly and directly, is because it stabilizes dopamine sensitivity and receptivity. So when you wake up and you take a cold shower, hard work feels way easier because you just shocked your system, because you just did something that's hard. And also cold temp, there's so many studies on cold showers. By the way, when people tell me there aren't many sources on cold, you're bullshitting me. You are bullshitting me. Go research. It's crazy how powerful cold showers are. And also better sperm health. The reason for that is cold weather equals more sperm, healthier sperm. And as you know, I think 80% to 95% of your testosterone come from your testicles. And also one thing I would like to mention about your nutritional fixes is animal organs are fucking powerful for testosterone, especially testicles and brain. And it sounds so weird, but where do animals create testosterone? Their testicles. So you have the answer. It's basically anabolic as fuck. It is a shame for you as a man to not optimize your body to its absolute limits. Stay hard to kill.